Good Sunday morning, everyone. This is Mitch. Hope you guys are having a great start to your Sunday and a great weekend so far. I'm going to give you a weather update on what is going on specifically for today. Now that the weather's kind of starting to slow back down again, we can start doing these morning updates for that specific day specifically, and I'm going to start doing that. There is a couple severe weather episodes that we have to watch, maybe one getting into early this week and one about midweek that we're going to break down this coming, this evening for you guys, but I really do not see any kind of severe weather outbreaks coming this week. I really don't, but there is two areas that we need to watch. We'll talk about that this evening, but if you guys have not subscribed, definitely consider doing that. Like the video if you like it. Appreciate the ongoing support. It's been a great week as far as growth. Talking about last week, so I really appreciate people continuing to tune in, regardless if the weather is busy or slow. If you guys got anything I can pray about, please put it in the comments below. It gives me an opportunity to pray over them. Gives others an opportunity to do so too. We can all look out for one another and glorify God doing it. So let's get going here. The latest HRRR model, that's what we're going to show. Temperatures, high temperatures today. We really start to warm up across the south central U.S. and the central part of the country. Highs starting to get into the 60s and 70s. So that Arctic air that you saw a few days ago, I mean, it's a thing of the past, and that's how it is in March. We don't stay cold for long in March. We don't get no week-long Arctic air masses that settle in for several days at a time. Normally it warms right back up, and in fact areas like Memphis, Tennessee could reach 60 degrees a day after Friday evening getting 4 or 5 inches of snow. You know, I was looking at the satellite loop a little bit later this yesterday evening that the National Weather Service in Memphis dropped, and all the snow melted just about for everybody in this region over here. I'm sure there's still snow on the ground, the higher elevations here in eastern Tennessee, Virginia, West Virginia, and the mountains of North Carolina, but that's how it is. It doesn't matter if it only gets up to 28 degrees. The March sun angle in mid-March is going to get the job done as far as melting snow. So it doesn't normally last very long when it comes to mid-March standards. But it's still going to be cold in the Northeast today, below average temperatures, as that trough in general is still affecting you guys. So y'all still got some cold air getting pushed into the Northeast, but the Southeast, pretty chilly day. You know, you compare this to 7 days ago when it got into the mid-80s for last Sunday. It's going to be much, much colder. But, you know, the good news is we're warming up this week, and I'll talk about that a little bit this evening in this evening's video. As far as the West, you know, it just depends on where you are. Higher elevations is going to, basically where you're going to see moisture, and I'm about to show you that here in a second. You'll probably be below average temperature-wise, as moisture obviously keeps the temperatures down. But it's going to be a nice day across the West Coast, especially the valleys in California, things like that. LA going to get into the 70s, but you know, the desert Southwest going to be pretty warm today, but you know, not too crazy of a weather day really today at all. And you know, you look at what's going on for the ridges and troughing and what is going on with anomalies here. You're going to start to have a ridge that begins to build into the middle of the country. And, you know, it's not going to be a ridge that's going to keep us super above average or anything like that. But basically what it's going to do is we're going to start to get maybe not a zonal flow necessarily, but you're going to get more average temperatures for this time of the year coming up. But in general, you keep this moving forward here. A cutoff low is going to branch off as we're getting into early next week. This is going to create its own weather, and that's what it does. It creates its own atmosphere, if you will, and this is what's going to create some severe weather and some moisture and some storms for the South in general, and we'll talk about that later this evening. But in general, for temperatures compared to average, it's going to be, you know, below average for the Southeast and Northeast, but you can tell it's starting to warm up in the middle of the country and then out west compared to averages. It depends on where moisture is falling and where it isn't. You know, where moisture doesn't fall from this cutoff low shooting across the upper areas of the west here in the Rockies, the northern Rockies, where it doesn't affect y'all, you know, y'all could see above average temperatures today. So looking at moisture, about the only thing I see in the eastern U.S. is there's a little bit of a system, some leftover energy that's pulling through the Ohio Valley. Could give areas, it's like southern Michigan, a little bit of snow today, maybe a little bit of snow flying around in Detroit and Michigan, Michigan, areas like Cleveland, Ohio, making it into areas of northwest Pennsylvania, probably around the early afternoon time frame. A little bit of snow flurry action probably throughout Pennsylvania, interior New York state, but I don't think it's going to be a big deal at all. In fact, by the time you get into this evening, maybe some flurries flying around in New York City, Long Island, northern New Jersey, but definitely nothing too crazy at all. You look out west, this little low pressure you see right here, this is that cutoff low. It's going to start drifting southeast to a degree here. and it's going to get cut off from the main flow of things. And this is what's going to create all of our weather. And I'm not going to say all of our weather like it's going to be super active this week across the eastern U.S. or central U.S., but it's going to create some severe weather episodes that we need to definitely watch starting tomorrow. But I don't think it's going to be a big deal. But this is going to give some mountain snow for higher elevations, just depending on really where where the snow's falling, where the snowfall elevation is. I'm getting all tongue twisted here. Basically, where the rain is changing to snow depending on elevation in these areas. Stick to your local sources with that, because I'm definitely not an expert with every single elevational region out here. I just know there's a lot of higher elevations in the Rocky Mountains. So basically, snow is falling in some areas, rain is falling in others, especially in the valleys. So, just stay tuned to that depending on where your location is. But I reckon the valleys will definitely stay mainly rain throughout the afternoon, evening today. But really, guys, that's all I got. Looking forward, we can look at the National Weather Service, the Storm Prediction Center, and what is going on here. And, nothing is going on today, but then we get into tomorrow, which is for your Monday, and we have a slight risk up. This includes Dallas, Texas, Shreveport, Louisiana. And there is a small tornado risk, but really it's just a 2% risk. So we really need to watch out for damaging winds with this system. And this is that cutoff low we're talking about. It's going to bring a little bit of moisture, surface moisture, meaning a little bit of higher dew points into this region. And we just kind of have to watch out for severe weather. You're looking at day 3, which is for basically our Tuesday. And we have to watch out the north central areas of the peninsula of Florida and the Big Bend region of Florida. There could be some severe weather with this, but I think it's just going to be too much stable air up here to the north. You're not going to have any severe weather in the Carolinas, and I don't think you're going to have much in the way of severe weather for Georgia or anything like that. So just be weather aware. We'll talk about this a little bit tonight, but guys, it really does look like we're starting to enter a slow period. I'll look at this going forward here. Let's look at the Climate Prediction Center right here, and I should have had all these tabs pulled up, but I don't. I'm sorry, guys. But the 6 to 10 day temperature outlook. We're about to start warming up. So this is for the 18th to the 22nd of this month. Above average temperatures are coming back. But, out west, it could be around average to below average. But spring is coming back, guys. So don't worry if you're a big spring fan. I know over the years, it seems like the older I get, the more I like spring. But the snow is definitely going to continue to melt today. And in fact, most of it might melt today regardless of what your temperature is. We're not talking January, I tell you what, even when we got our snow back in mid-January here in South Carolina, I mean, it basically stayed around 34. It only got up to about 34 degrees, but the sun just melted every bit of it by about noontime. So, sun angle is big, and if you don't have cloud cover, all your snow is going to melt today across the eastern U.S. So that's all I got. God bless everybody. Y'all have a great day, and I'll talk to y'all this evening.